everybody, it's Hannah Conda, and welcome to a brand new episode of What's Lost Got to do with it. I am so excited to be back. I'm recording. I'm going out for a show soon. I'm going to do Leading Ladies at Universal every Wednesday night if you want to come along. I'm plugging so early in the show, but that's why I'm in drag today. I like surprising you. One day I'm in drag, one day I'm not. Most days I'm not because I'm trying to interview people globally, and as a global woman, I'm not putting makeup on at certain hours of the day. You get what you get. But I hope you've had a great week. I'm very honored to have this next lovely lady. We've been friends for a very long time now, and she is a Drag Race alumni from the UK, and it is none other than Cheryl, formerly known as Cheryl Hole, but now just Cheryl. She is a cackle. We have such a good time. The way that Cheryl's brain works is so fascinating to me, and she's very similar in the way that I work, is that I start to oh, sorry, excuse me, my lash is a little bit wonky do. As she starts to dissect herself as she's talking, which is what I do, and then I start going, oh bitch, you're being an idiot, and then like you check yourself, and it's such a fascinating thing, and I feel like we're very similar people, and that's why we get along. So I'm excited to share this conversation with you. She is an absolute gem, such a good person, and I cannot wait for you to hear the wise words of Cheryl. We'll be back right after this. All right, everybody, welcome back to What's Lost Got to Do with It. And I don't know how I've managed to do this, but I have somehow coerced a diva, sensation, woman, glamazon, three times
Right.
drag race experience, torture victim. It is Cheryl.
Baby.
It's just Cheryl now, isn't it?
Call me what you like. You've been inside me. No, I'm joking.
Not yet.
No, yeah. How are you, baby?
Mama, I am amazing. I'm even better now that I get to talk to you.
Miss Conjure if you're nasty.
Miss Condiff, I tell you, you were just one of those people that every time that we get to talk, it's just one of those familiar people. I felt like I've known you for my whole life.
Yeah, look, the first time we met was in the dressing room in Sydney. Came barreling in.
Yeah,
Miss Faux Fur literally screaming the house down. It was quite the experience, but do you know what? At the end of the day, that's
that's
gossip.
gossip.
Sorry for the
Oh,
in joke, everybody
yeah,
listening.
it's an in joke. Sorry, everyone, but at the end of the day, it's gossip.
Yeah, it
Um,
really is.
but how are you, Cheryl? What's going on in your world? What are you doing?
I'm all good, just preparing for Antarctica versus the world. We leave to film in
Nice,
3 weeks' time, so
love
just
that.
getting my Eskimo runways ready. But other than that, I'm all good. It is Pride season around the world, and I. Us cross dressers, we're hustling, we're working, we're doing the
We
damn
really
thing.
are. It's not
And
stopped. This has been a productive Pride Month for the lack of brands and stuff getting involved. I felt like pretty busy.
yeah, the thing is, the people that are there for us, the true allies, are still there standing up and standing out. So we're very grateful. We're very thankful. And if your only contribution to Pride is performative, we don't
Then
care.
go, we don't care. I would take their money though. I'm not gonna lie about it. Look, at the end of the day,
Mm,
sometimes
mm.
if I'm poor, I'm a starving artist.
We've all
If so,
been there.
yeah, if someone wants to make their grand entrance back into Pride next year, big brand, I'll be like, you know what? Welcome back. Forgive but not forget. Forgive but
Hey,
not
look, they
forget.
had they had their lipstick pulled last season, and they're back for their fourth season of Pride.
You're a bloody dream. You've got a cold there. You seem to be slushing yourself with a
Hannah,
tissue.
don't out me. I'm
Well,
trying to be professional on this podcast
it is a
because
visual medium at some point as well.
don't do this to me.
Yeah, surprise!
Anyway, long story short, I am a sufferer of hay fever, and it is rife in the UK this year, the worst ever on record. So let's just say I can't breathe, I can't
Yes,
sleep.
she can't, not, never me, not breathing.
Yeah,
Why,
there's a blue
honey?
cantrell. We need to let it breathe.
We need to let it breathe. Need to let it breathe. Oh, fuck, I forgot
What's
about
all
how
about a beer about baby?
to.
Right, podcast.
Oh yeah, this is fun. This is all part of it because I like to lull my guests into a false sense of security because the podcast is about loss, of which both you and I are quite familiar with in terms of the reality TV space. But I think
Yeah.
I like to get a little bit deeper. And why not? We're here now. I may as well ask you the hard hitting questions. Cheryl, what is something in your life that you've lost that has made a significant impact on how you operate and who you are today? It can be anything.
That's
We've had all different things. We've had people who's lost a favorite toy, virginities, we've had deaths, we've had what else have we had? We've had friendships fall apart, we've had all of that kind of stuff.
Sanity.
Sanity, you've lost your sanity, you lost your will to live. We had Vicky Scone. She said that she lost a lot of money with bad promoters. That was a good one. There's all different ways that
Yeah.
loss comes into our life, I think.
No, it really does. And I think it depends on the levels that you want to break it down. Like, obviously, when we have death and whatnot, it impacts our life. I think one of the most poignant deaths in my life was my nan, who was a very crucial part of all of my family's life. And that happened whilst I was away filming UK versus the world. So
Fuck.
not only was I dealing with the fact that I've just been eliminated, but the next day, production told me that she'd passed away. So I was literally like, thanks, guys. Thanks. You're really spinning me into a right depression. But
Jesus.
it really does help and shape who you are
Mm,
because sometimes you need to be broken down to come back up.
yeah.
I think as queens, we often feel that we are invincible
Oh
and that
yeah.
we can deal with anything that life throws at us, but sometimes we have to have a reminder that we are human. I think for me personally, I've had to work over the last couple of years to actually let the wall down because I'm one that I keep the wall very high up. Everything's hunky
Yeah.
dory. Who's hunky dory?
Who's Dory?
I keep the walls firmly up
Yeah.
to protect myself, but also I've realized I kept the walls up to make sure that I was not affecting other people with things that I was dealing with. But
Oh, that's interesting.
the reality is people want to help you. They want
Yeah.
to support you. But I was like, I don't want to be a burden. I absolutely don't want to offload my issues when people are dealing with so much of themselves. So
That's so
I've
interesting.
been
That is a
learning.
common thread. That is a very common thing. And I didn't realize because I'm gonna put the wall up. Oh, and actually I do the same thing, I suppose. Yeah, carry on. Keep going.
No,
I just
no,
checked
but
myself.
this is why we get on so well because we have so many similarities, Hannah,
Yeah.
which really it resonates without even realizing. So
Yeah.
for me, I've learned from death, from experiences, from being broken down like that and having that initial loss, it's made me learn. So as
Yeah.
much as the loss has been a tremendous horrible thing, I've actually learned, oh, you have to open up. You have
Yeah.
to talk. You have to let people in.
Yeah, I agree. It's such a fascinating thing. And like I think it's also getting comfortable with and I think it helps you in the long run because it's also getting comfortable with the fact that our time here is very limited. And I think we waste so much time on things that aren't really worth giving it that energy and giving it that
Yeah.
time. There's a point that you've got to go, okay, yeah, this situation needs to be dealt with. And yes, it needs to be sorted, but I don't want to put more energy into it and take away from my time because fundamentally we don't have much of it. You
But
never know what's around the
realistically,
corner.
how often do we have beef, chicken, or rice with anybody? We don't.
Yeah.
I could count on.
That's a t-shirt. How
Hey,
often
look,
do we
quit of
have beef, chicken,
branding.
or rice with anybody? We don't.
Are you like me? I have the three strike rule.
Hmm?
Cross me once, fine, it's an off day. Cross me twice, oh, you're on tetchy territory. Cross me three times, you're out. Because and especially over a period of time
Yeah.
or even years, if that is the same behavior that you're putting out into the world, then
It's
I have no energy for it.
Yeah, yeah. I wonder, actually, I'm that, but I wonder if when you say someone's out, are you like not talk, no, like nothing? Or are you just, we can be civil, but I'm not putting energy into the hating of you or being mean or anything?
Okay, maybe it's a four strikes because three strikes I'll be civil
Yeah.
and
Okay. Yeah.
professional, affordable Tresemme.
Yeah.
The fourth strike,
There we go
I'll
into yeah. And
out,
is there
out.
many people in that list for you, Cheryl?
I'll tell you after.
Okay. Yeah, I can ice people out. I'll just phase it out. I'd rather not put in that energy of being like hating or trying to spread. I'm trying to like I don't want the fight. I don't want the fight. But when I know it's done, I'm just gonna withdraw myself, pull myself out, and be like, thank you for the times we've had. I've enjoyed it, but this is not servicing me. And mama,
Yeah.
I can't do it.
And you know what? That's gossip.
And that's fucking gossip bit. It really is. Because what I was going to ask, actually, I was thinking about this before, because I find it interesting now that you talk about like death and stuff and how it's affected you with your grandma and stuff like that. How is that idea of death and loss now transferred into your work with doing the podcast about like murder and serial killers and all that? Because that's quite interesting. Because that is
Yeah.
that you dealing with talking about other people's losses.
Well, it was never a realm I ever thought I would end up in, but I'm a firm believer in right time, right place, and
Yeah.
the opportunities that present to you. And I was presented this opportunity to co-host a true crime podcast, Killers, Cults, and Queens, available on all podcast platforms,
Listen.
that we get to dive into a different case every single episode, dissect it, learn, and see what the takeaways were. And for me, it's actually opened my eyes a lot more because I was definitely sunshines and daisies and
Yeah.
rainbows, but the world is absolutely fucked. Let's
Yeah.
call a spade a spade.
Yeah.
But it's learning about these cases and just seeing what actually drove these people to these and
Mm.
how can we as a society actually change and support and do things. I think a lot of it comes down to governments failing mental health support. I
Yeah.
think it's also a case of financials drive a lot of people to do things that they don't want to do. There was a case that was very close to home for me, literally 5 minutes down the road, where this woman was the sole carer for her parents in their retirement age. And her gambling and shopping addiction got so out of control that she thought that she had to kill her parents just
To make, oh my God, to get
to
the money?
keep the money.
Oh, fuck, it is wild because this is the thing. Like I try to operate in a place, and I'm learning more that it's not the same. It's not the world that we live in. Like you go through, and you're like, oh, everyone's trying to be the best person that can be, try to be nice, whatever. But
Yeah.
the more and more I realize, and especially in airports, I realize people are out for themselves, and there is a lot of people that are happy just being assholes and being horrible and do not care, and they don't care.
But am I one of those assholes and terrible people if I lose my rag with people that are stupid in airports?
No,
Like their
because the
behavior
people
is
that are,
stupid.
that's who I mean. The people that are stupid, because there's common sense. And I guarantee we are very good flyers. We know how to get into the airport, get our things done, get to that lounge, have your little coffee, get on the plane, and get the fucking thing done. Whereas some people are just chaos.
Yeah.
Chaos.
I was at an airport on Sunday flying back home from Scotland, and they finally introduced all the security where you don't have to take a single item out of your
Out of your
bag.
bag.
Tell me why I got put into the queue behind this man taking off the belt, taking out the laptop, taking out an extra, taking off the gilet. I'm like, mate, I am
Leave the
so
gilet
sorry.
on, bitch.
Yeah, you don't need to get your iPod Nano out. That can stay in the bag. Martin, please.
Yeah, it is older people that I do see sometimes, and they're like, because I suppose they're going on holidays and stuff, and we're just like, oh my God, I just want to get to where we need to go and just get it done. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But, and I feel bad about
We're doing
judging
the hokey
people.
pokey.
Yeah, and we
We're
turn ourselves
in out,
about.
shake it all about.
I know it's fascinating, but like, yeah, I feel like that's the same thing with the serial killers. Because, but then it's interesting when you listen to them and when when you dissect a serial killer or a cult or whatever, like you can see how people get susceptible to that, and
Yeah.
they become victims of circumstance, which is what you were saying, really.
Yeah. The thing is, all cults really do is prey on the vulnerable. They find a niche, they tap into it, they lure people in with a false sense of security
Yeah.
to make sure that they come in, give over everything they want because they think that they're going to be protected when the reality is they're being taken advantage of. So the cult 101 is hand over your money, cut off contact, and be at the hands of whatever the people tell you to do. That is
So
just
weird.
dehumanizing you from
Dehumanizing.
the get. But they lure
Mm.
you in because they think, oh, if I do this, people will look after me. When
Mm.
they've just been through so much hardship and tough times. So
Yeah.
it's so difficult every time I cover a cult. And even when we hear the stories of the people that have survived and come out the other side of cults, that they've still got that element of yearning to be protected. And it's
Mm.
just so sad.
Yeah. Do you feel, do you have a need to be protected?
I think I've always put on in my head that I am the protector and I need to
Oh.
provide and look after people, that I
Mm.
forget that I do need to be looked after myself. Oh my God,
Yeah.
Hannah, is this a therapy session? I never had a therapist quite like this.
I never have one like this again. I'm not board certified.
Yet. That's what the evening classes are for.
Yeah. But I find that's fascinating that you say that, like, and then you flashes back into like how you were when your grandma passed, that you put that wall up to go, oh my God, I don't want anyone to like feel burdened with how I'm
Yeah.
feeling. Yet we take on people's feelings with like openly because that's who we are as people. We go, come and talk
Yeah.
to us. We're empathetic, we're motherly, we're like, we want to make sure everyone's okay. And then we forget. It's like when you find your parents are adults as well, and they like had lives before they had kids, and then that blows your mind. It's the same sort of thing.
It's the
We've got a
circle of life. It moves us all.
circle of life. Isn't it? I find that so fascinating. You're a very fascinating human though to me, Cheryl.
Am I?
Yeah, because you have this like level of resilience and this like ability to just you just keep on keeping on. Like you don't let it get you like life get you down for too long.
I have to say, this year has been the first year that I've felt, oh, I've really got to find the wheels on the bus and keep them going round and round because the bus has been constantly running.
Yeah,
And especially since this drag race journey began 6 years. Can you believe it's been 6 years since Drag Race
that
UK
is
launched?
wild. That is
I
wild.
and every day I pinch myself and I'm so grateful for every opportunity because in the early days we just had no clue the longevity and how long this ride was going to go on for. So
Yeah,
I was a hustler. I said, okay, if we've only got X amount of time, let's make the most of it. Let's say yes
yeah.
to everything. Because I was a firm believer if I said no, then the calls
It,
were going to stop. And
yeah.
I think for me, this year has been the first year that I've paused, reflected, and obviously we've all dealt with a tremendous loss within our
Mm,
community at the beginning of this year.
yeah.
And that really,
For our for our Viv. For our Viv. There's a
yeah,
dark hope for our Viv.
and I've got a water.
Yeah.
I'll,
She would hate
I know.
that.
Viv, if you're listening right now, I'll have a pink gin and lemonade for you in a minute. I promise. I'm trying to be professional and do my job here. But I think that was the first time I'd experienced a true loss to my heart
Yeah,
of our generation.
yeah, yeah. And so
Because we are all of the same age.
yeah, and then the bonding experience that you like, no one understands what happens on a season when you're filming, and you had that with her.
But it wasn't just the season. We
And
we
then
were
you
so
go
lucky
out,
to do so
everything
much
else.
beyond.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and you practically live with each other at points. That's how I like got real close with Viv was when she came to Australia and did the Snatch Game tour, and we were together for 2 weeks, and it was like similar to you. I'd spoken online with her, but we'd never met. And then when we met, it was like we're old friends
Hmm.
instantly. And it was that bond that she was so easy at doing that. Like it's just open and warm and just invited you in, especially if you got
And
along.
down to clown.
Down to
Like,
clown. Yeah.
if you take life too seriously, then you're not living your life, I
No,
think.
no.
Because I understand and I think I own it that I have an element of seriousness and I am very professional and I know when to put the proper hats on. But
Yeah.
I'm
Well,
also like, life's too short not to enjoy every single second.
that's
I was on a, sorry to cut you off.
no, you
I
go.
was on a tour and everybody was like, oh, I'm going to have a nap. I'm like, when are we ever going to be back here? Let's go
Bitch.
out and explore.
And yeah, and live the life. Like I'm the same. And like I guess we gotta sleep. Yes, we gotta do all these things. But like these moments are so rare. And I really came into it after UK versus the world that I was like, I want to enjoy every single second. Probably at the detriment to my body, my heart, my soul, and my liver. But I want to not miss these moments because we won't be able to have them again. And
Yeah. It's about fine tuning and being selective with those moments. Not every night has to be a night at the club.
no, no, it could be going
Every
out for
nightclub,
dinner,
yeah,
go for a
every
walk with each
nightclub is
other.
going to play the same music. It's going to be the same flashing lights. Like, you can party in any city, but are you going to see the Sydney Opera House and the Harbour ever again? Probably
No,
not.
no.
Oh, no, it's on your doorstep, so you do.
I try to avoid at all costs.
But it's, for example, if we both got booked in Brazil, I know for a fact you'd be like, I don't want to do it, but you would do the mini hike up to see the better view of the Jesus statue.
Yeah.
Because
Uh,
when will
you
we
gotta
ever be in Rio de Janeiro again?
Mama, this is the thing. Like, it's just taking that, like, those moments in life and realizing that you gotta. I like sharing it, and I don't. I want to be more present because I felt like
Yeah.
I zip. Did you feel after you did your first season and you started touring and doing all that? Do you feel like you were constantly just zipping and nothing was being absorbed? Like you weren't absorbing the things?
Actually, I was.
Oh, were you?
And I'm
Well, go
not.
fuck yourself. How could you?
No, I think it's because I had a great support network around me that
Mm,
reminded me of what we were doing,
that's
kept my
interesting.
feet firmly on the ground,
Yeah.
but also said, this is incredible. And when you pause, you reflect in the moment, you take it in. And I think also we were so quickly thrust into it, but then the door was slammed in our face so quickly because within 6 months,
They were
we went
like,
into a lucky D.
fuck yeah. Fuck yeah.
So then you really had to stop and pause and reflect
Mm,
because we stopped
yeah.
and everything shifted. So you were finding your feet, but you could look back and go, wasn't it wild that I was in Amsterdam doing a show 2 weeks ago and now we're locked inside our houses?
That is trippy. I can't imagine that experience. That is wild. Because we just went from like doing our shows in the streets to being all like, oh my God, a break. Woohoo. I kind of love lockdown for a bit.
I'm not gonna lie, I want to bring back digital drag. I'm not
Yeah.
about leaving the house.
It's
I'm
giving
a
this vibe.
homebody.
It's giving this. It's giving this. It's giving this.
Liza, put your toes away. Stop it.
Yeah, I ever had that. Well, because I think I found after I did Drag Race Down Under, I felt, oh, this is fleeting. This is fleeting. And I just was taking, yes, doing it, doing everything. And I just never absorbed any of it. And I had to really sit down after Versus. And I was like, okay, girl, you need to actually just really, when you're out there doing these things, just go a moment to just be grateful for it. Because I
Yeah.
was grateful, but I wasn't, I think, allowing myself to be fully taken into those experiences and go, fuck, this is really good work. I've done well. It was like next one, and I didn't get a chance, and I ended up burning myself out terribly.
Yeah. But it's just the work ethic in you. I know you're of the same mindset of me that, oh, you want me for this job? Oh, of
Yeah,
course. I would be there in a heartbeat. And especially in an industry where it's got 600 plus Rue girls within
yeah,
internationally, and you're now cemented within this world. So I think you should just remember that you're Hannah fucking Conda.
cheers.
And when I came and saw you at that UK versus the World tour, which fuck you for getting a tour, we didn't get one.
Sorry.
But watching you step out on that stage, that gratitude, that reflection, that taking it in, I could see that
Yeah,
beaming out from you. So
thank you.
just know that it doesn't go unnoticed.
Oh, bloody thank you. I appreciate that because I am definitely incredibly grateful. And I do, and I definitely, I've never really changed the way I work. I've always been like this. I
Same.
just like to get in, and that is exactly why I get along with you. And I think as well, because prior to doing Drag Race, did you host Drag Race Queens?
Yes.
Yeah, and have you seen we've seen the ins, the outs, the goods, the bads. And there are people that I was like, if I ever get to do this, I do not want to do that. I never want to be like that.
Yeah, it was a great learning curve. Like, I could give you a list of queens that I don't think would ever have lasted the test of time if they continued like that.
Yeah,
And it's so funny because we, granted, you were in season 2, you still were at the forefront of the inception of Down Under Drag
yeah,
Race. So you were able to pass on your knowledge, your wisdom to those that came after. So many that came through the door would be like, how do I do this? What shall I do with this?
yeah,
Etc. etc. And to be honest, once we pass that knowledge and wisdom on, what they do with it is down to them.
yeah,
But
yeah. You
we
can't baby
know,
them.
yeah,
Yeah,
we know how to do it. But it does irk me when I see some queens get rewarded for bad behavior because I often think if I acted like that, if I turned up an hour and a half late, I'm of the school of to be earliest to be on time, and we
yeah,
respect everybody's time. We respect the people that have paid the money to come see us. We respect the people that have taken the time to book us and fly us or train us to these gigs. You respect everybody in that line.
Pleases, thank yous, like never overstep the bounds. And always, I always make sure I go and meet the queens in the cast. Always. And make
I don't want
time.
my own dressing room. I want to be in with
Want to be in with the
everybody.
girls. Yes. And when I have been put in with other girls, I end up in the other dressing room anyway because I just want to be with everyone else. I
Yeah.
want to know each other's story. That's what we are. We're human beings, and drag queens especially. We are storytellers. Like, and
Yeah.
my favorite part of a night is when we're all out of drag or people in various forms of drag or whatever, and we're sitting down having a drink and just gas bagging and just sharing different stories and laughing. Like that is true drag essence to me.
Now, don't get me wrong. I am a self-conscious girly, so I will always opt for the private corner to change into my garments. But I want to be in the middle of everybody.
Yeah.
And granted, I want to be in the room where everybody that's in that room is necessary to being in that room. I don't
Oh
need
yeah.
15 of your friends in that
Yeah.
room
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
whilst I'm trying to finish my makeup.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's not necessary.
Yeah.
But damn, we're gonna get to work, bitch, and we're gonna
Yeah.
have a fun time doing it.
Yeah. I love that. You're a bloody dream, Shez. Yeah, we're just two girls out here having a great time, darling.
Oh, Liza.
Darling, I love it. What do you think your next moves are, Shez? What's on the horizon? What are your goals?
See, I have never set any long-term goals with this career thus
Mm,
far. I feel like I've just been so grateful for everything that's been presented, but I've also never wanted to set a goal that never happens because then I'll be
yeah.
disappointed. I've always had aspirations. Like one day I would love to do a big TV show where I showcase myself to the hugest platform, and I've done that.
Yeah.
I've then had many other television opportunities come from that. Would I like to go back and do something completely different? Sure, throw me in the jungle. Could you
Yeah.
imagine if I was down under
Yeah.
and living in the jungle? That would
Yeah.
be insane. But
That's
also,
that's one of mine. I want to be in there. Want to be in the jungle. But we go to
yes.
Africa. We go to Africa, our Australian one.
Oh, does Shakira do the theme tune?
Oh yeah. Zamina, mina,
Eh, eh,
waka, waka,
waka waka,
do you think you go back to Drag Race, Cheryl?
I'm a firm believer of never say never. I feel like I've still got so much to showcase,
Yeah.
prove. I'm not going back to be like, I finally won a challenge. I feel like I've been so blessed with every opportunity to go back that it's been a different milestone in my career where my drag is because we're artists. We're constantly growing,
Yeah.
evolving. My dress sizes are constantly growing and evolving. So
Mama.
let's
Ain't
just
that the
show
truth?
that's gossip. The iterations that I've had has been so great. I always say to people when I meet them for the first time, they go, "Oh, so what do you do?" "Oh, I've been on RuPaul's Drag Race." "Oh, I must go back and watch that season." I go, "No, please go watch Canada's Drag Race." Because I want to
Oh,
showcase the best variation of
yeah.
myself, and I know people loved what I bought and who I was on season 1, but where I was last year and what I showcased on Canada's Drag Race, I felt
Mm,
so proud. And
mm.
yes, I didn't win a challenge, but I was in the top every single episode bar one.
Yeah, you did so good. Like
And
you've, I want to tell you something, Cheryl. I think you
go
need to
for it.
look. I think you need to look at all your journeys on Drag Race, all three times, as little time capsules of a moment of who you were at at that time. That's how I look at them now.
Exactly.
I look at them as little time capsules, and now it's made me more proud of like when people go, "I haven't watched that." I'm like, go back and look at it then watch UK versus the world, and then now that you've met me and you've seen me, then take that as another experience. Think of them as little time capsules because should be so fucking proud every time you have delivered you authentically. Nothing's ever been fake or false. It was just who you were at that time.
Yeah.
And we've all got to watch you grow and learn and you just make good
I was
TV.
a baby. I
You
was literally
were.
2.5 years into Dragon season 1,
That is
and
wild.
in a blink of an eye, I learnt so much on that set through the other queens, and I left and I just hit the ground running and I just went for it. But I would love to showcase and have one last chance in
Yeah.
the world, whether there's a world in which Drag Race Down Under has versus the world. Imagine coming and doing that down there. I would be up for doing it anywhere or
Yeah.
wherever. I just am not forking out for a wardrobe ever again. I've done
I
it
know.
3 times.
That's the expensive part. That's the hard part. I can't go into debt. I can't do it again. Like the
No,
money. I just can't. I can't afford it. I feel like I'm still
no.
paying bits off.
I was in a group chat with Alexis, Kennedy, and Lemon. I was like, "It's all good for you guys. You won coin."
Yeah, yeah. She's still sitting over here going, please give me some monies.
I,
Give some
I was I
monies.
was Oliver Twist in the corner of the studio at the final. Brooke, can I have
Can I
some
have some
more?
more? I love it. Do you think you learnt what is your family like? Are your parents quite encouraging? Do they,
Oh God, yeah. My dad
yeah.
listens to the podcast.
Hi,
He's
Daddy
like,
Hole.
I've just listened to this episode. And like my mum, I remember we did the Troxy in London and the venue capacity 2,500. And this was straight after season 1. We sold out the Troxy and they had a balcony
Yeah.
above. And they put my mum and my friend Erica in a box bit of the balcony. It wasn't even a box. It was just like a sideways table that you had to sit like this to watch the show. Um, you know how the generation above us, when they're filming, they do the
Like, they did that.
the
Yeah.
2 finger
Oh,
zoom in.
that was
I could
I
see
got a
my
pin.
mum. Oh, hello, me. In Hannah's Case to Fire Pride
Hello,
phone.
darling. Give us a smile. Come on.
Oh, and I'm doing my number. I catch my eye, and she's like this, like Regina George's mum, Chris Jennering it up there. And I was like, good on you, Jerry. Geraldine.
Is that your mum's Jerry? And what's
Yeah.
Daddy Hole's name?
Christopher.
Oh, mine too. Oh, I'm like your daddy.
Don't get weird up in here, Hannah. We've had a lovely podcast
Yeah, we
record.
really have. I do love that because I feel like we're both, because I have a very similar experience with my parents. My parents are
Yeah.
very on board. They're loving. They just come to everything. I know that we're very rare. It's getting more and more common that parents are just
Yeah.
loving their kids, and which is great. But it's just such a nice shining example of how like just having your parents just love, accept their child,
Yeah.
the things that can go on and the magic they can create just showcases just what great parenting can be.
Truly, 100%. And I have to say, if anybody listening that doesn't feel like they have that experience, never feel that is it and that is your life, because
No.
there is always the next chapter
Yeah.
and people out there to love and support you and uplift you.
100%. And guaranteed at one of the places that you go to find your chosen family, you'll find parents that are potentially mine or Cheryl's that will adopt you in a moment. And you'll
Yeah.
end up you'll have more parents than you can cope with.
Sunday family dinner.
Yep, it's always out there. That's the thing. Yeah, I don't want people that are feeling like they don't have that to feel let down. I'm just saying this for the parents that are listening. Just make sure you're loving your child and just let them flourish and be who they need to be and just support them. Because look, you can create magic like Cheryl,
Right,
three-time
hocus
loser.
pocus and all that. 3-time loser,
Loser.
but
Yeah.
hey, what's loss got to do with it?
Ah, how dare you, Cheryl? That is so good. Well done, my diva. Well done. What's got to do? Got to do with it.
Considering I didn't have a brief before this, I think I picked up very quickly.
Yeah. I do operate this podcast in quite the unconventional way. It's not, I don't like people coming in with a preconceived notion. I like people
Oh,
to think of
absolutely not.
especially with this, because I think there's things that you don't realize in your life that you may have affected you more. And those are the things that first come to your mind. And it can be weird and wacky. Vanity lost we saw Vanity, she lost like a pound puppy toy that really significantly changed her experience of life. And I just think it's fascinating. We don't talk about loss in a way that's a little bit more jovial. I just like it to be like, these are hard things that we all go through.
Yeah.
And I just want people
And
to
this
feel
is
less
the
alone.
thing. You've hit the nail on the head there. We all go through these experiences, but then you have people like me that are like, oh, I don't want to talk about it because I don't want to burden and I don't want to open up and I don't want to let people in. But we need to hear that to know that it is okay to let the guard down.
Yeah, and but also people need to hear that people feel like that, and
Yeah.
they're not alone in feeling like that. I think just the more empathy and understanding that because I think when you get stuck in those situations, you do feel like you're the only one ever in the world to experience something like that. And then when you
Yeah.
hear like, oh, fucking crazy old Hannah and crazy old Ches, they feel like that. I'm not an asshole. I'm not an idiot. I'm okay. I'm gonna go talk to my friends. I hope that's what happens
Yeah.
from this episode.
Imagine if we've just change the trajectory of everybody's lives with this little poddy.
I hope so. That's my goal. One ear hole at a time.
Hey, and from one hole to another.
From one hole to another. I've got one last question before I let you depart and get your day going, Shiz. From the things that you've lost and the things that you've experienced with loss, what is one thing that you've found?
I have found so much love, and love comes in so many different forms. I obviously have the love from your favorite person in the world, Maya
Hi,
Hayden.
Hayden.
Uh,
Hi,
he's literally in the other room right now. I have the love and support from people that believe in our love. I have the love and support from the people that believe in our
People in my life.
craft and our work that we put out into the world. But I also realize that there is so much love in companionship and friendship that goes so much deeper than we think it does.
Yeah.
So you have to realize that love is there, utilize it, be selfish with it, soak up
Mm.
in it if you need to, because it is always going to be there. It might trickle away in some places, but the consistency of the people and places where it is in life will always be there. So just in your darkest moments, always know that love is keeping you going.
That is bloody beautiful. Cheryl, thank you. You're a wise freaking old owl, aren't you? And I could say that it's another one. I am a wise old owl too. We're just wise
I like
women.
to think I am. I like to think I am. I think I've gone through a lot of shit.
Yeah.
I'd like to write a book eventually
Yeah.
and tell all the tales of what happened in my early days of drag to get me to where I am today. Because,
I'm ready. I'm waiting. And I don't read. And I'll read it.
no, 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 I'll give you the audiobook.
Great. Yes.
But I'm just so excited for what chapters are around the corner. I'd love to eventually get back down under
Oh,
and
we'd have
do
you.
some more work with you.
Yeah, I would love that.
But
Well, let's.
equally, let's get you back here.
Fuck yeah, I know. You guys need me. I'm on my way.
Thank you, Super Nanny.
You're welcome. Thank you for getting the reference.
Hey, if there's one thing you can count on me,
She
it's a
gets the
reference.
reference.
Hey, my boots, Jerry. Where are my
Yeah.
boots?
Tap the footing table. Shiz, I'm going to leave you, but where do you want the kids to go? Obviously, Cheryl on Instagram and TikToks and all of that. You're doing a lot more
Yeah,
TikToks. Any
at
shows coming
Cheryl
up?
Drag Queen. In terms of shows, if you're listening to this, you can come see me and Kitty at the Bridport Electric Palace on the 4th of July. I'm floating around all Pride season. Come see me at London Pride. And I've probably got more exciting things coming up, but I am drawing a blank because I haven't even had a
Yeah.
coffee.
Oh, shit, darling. I've got to let you get your coffee. But Cheryl, you are stunning. You're beautiful. Thank you for being my sister, my friend. I can't wait to give you a proper squeeze. But thank you for sharing your stories. And we love you. And thank you for joining me on the pod.
No, thank you for having me. I'll be back whenever you need me.
Thank
Wise
you,
owls.
darling. You wise
At
owls.
100 Acre Wood. Who, who's going to be
That's
our
the
piglet?
yeah, two wise owls in the 100 acre wood. Welcome back, everybody. I told you that little wise old owl. You got two little wise old owls here, ranting and raving on the internet for your audible pleasure. Oh my god, I finished my Diet Coke. For those of you that were watching, I have a Diet Coke. We bought a Diet Coke because we had people over the other day. I tried to get the Diet Coke out of the house because I'm trying to drink more water. But hey, when the Diet Coke's in the house, you got to drink the Diet Coke. Can't let the Diet Coke go to waste. But that was gorgeous. I love having Cheryl. She just brightens up your life. And I hope you experiencing a little bit of that ray of sunshine in your world, wherever you're listening from, because I know she's just brought me a lot of joy. It just, even that, like, just a 40 minutes of just chat with her just uplifts your spirits and just makes you want to go out and kick life in the balls. Like, she really is just a beautiful human being. So if you're in the UK, go catch her your various prides. I'm very jealous that I can't be there to go and see her. But yeah. Anyway, that is another episode. Before we go, a little healing hands moment for you. This is healing hands with little hands. So, as some of you probably, because I talk about it a lot, is that I do have a certificate one in Reiki, which means I can practice hands-on healing. I cannot. I haven't done the official certificate two, which means I can do remote healing, but I'm by proxy doing it because I just feel like I can do it through the power of podcasting. So, my my little thoughts slash healing hands. Usually I ask people, but I've just been thinking about things in life these days. And I've been thinking about things re my body and my weight at the moment. I've been like thinking about different ways that I can go to lose weight, and then I've been listening to podcasts about weight loss and the stigmas that come along with it, like the drugs, if you go to the Ozempic, the Manjaro, all that route, or if you just do your exercise and eating good. And I think the world of weight loss is so commodified these days. Like you think it is absolutely wild. And I know that we probably all go through it at some point because as human beings, for some reason we're just so bloody, I don't know, it's the world we're sold into. Just looking at our bodies and not feeling that they're good enough or finding the imperfections in them. And I just want you to know that you're not alone in that. I'm feeling that. And some people probably look at me and go, why is she feeling like she's overweight? Well, I'll tell you why, because my doctor ticked on my CPAP form that I was obese, and I was like, go fuck yourself, because it was the BMI. And apparently the BMI is not a great way to measure the levels of obesity and all this shit. I don't know. But what I'm saying fundamentally is it's in this journey, if you're trying to better your health and trying to, look after your body a little bit more, just go and do your research and always find a doctor that you trust. And I think that was the biggest lesson and the biggest takeaway that I've found is that my doctor, when he did that, he just didn't really want to hear about my lifestyle, about the travel and stuff. And that I find general like a routine and exercise and all that, it's very challenging for me to keep up with. And he just wouldn't hear it. And he was like a bit fat shamey. And I was like, I don't want that. So I'm moving doctors. So find people in your life and find medical practitioners, therapists, all of that kind of stuff. People in your life that work with you and that will be willing to listen and understand your situation. Because there's nothing worse than getting into a place with someone that is not really listening to what you need. You know your body, you know your life, and people need to be able to come in and work with that rather than you feeling ashamed. And you shouldn't be like divulging vulnerable information to someone who's not got your best interest at heart. Do research yourself. Don't become a Google doctor. Don't do that. That's not what I'm saying. But do your research yourself. Just have a bit of an idea of what you're exploring, what you want to do, and then present it to people and find someone, a doctor or whatever the situation. Find someone that you trust and find someone that clicks with you and is listening to you. That's the key. You want to find them listening to you and understanding you and understanding your circumstances. Because if they're trying to push something on you that's not working, baby, then get the fuck out of there because you don't need that. Don't waste your time. You are too precious for that. So that's my healing hands for you this week. I don't know. It's a bit of a rant, but whatever. I just want us to all be like looked after. And I know sometimes these situations can get us feeling very vulnerable and it's a bit nerve wracking. So yeah, I'm sending you lots of love, my friends. You're all beautiful angels. Thank you for listening to the podcast. Huge thank you again to Cheryl for being here with me. But for now, I'm going to leave you to it. I got to go to work. So have a great week. Stay fabulous, stay glittery, and I love you. I love you. I love you. Bye.